All right, let's jump right into this. Today, we're embarking on an epic journey up a highly contested mountain, the grand hierarchy of FIDE chess titles. If you've ever sat there wondering what exactly separates a really strong weekend warrior from an absolute legend of the 64 squares, well, you're in the right place. Using our source data for this explainer, we're going to map out the precise climb to the ultimate, lifelong badges of honor in the chess world. To really wrap our heads around this, let's look at a staggering fact. Worldwide, there are literally hundreds of millions of people who play chess. But out of that massive global pool, there are only a few thousand active grandmasters at any given time. Think about that. It's an incredible bottleneck of talent, memory, and just pure dedication. And it perfectly illustrates exactly why that grandmaster title is widely considered one of the most prestigious achievements in any mind sport anywhere.
Section 1. The Grand Chess Hierarchy.
Fundamentally, you can think of chess titles as official ranks awarded by FIDE, the International Chess Federation. But what makes them truly special is their permanence. Unlike your daily chess rating, which is basically on a roller coaster of ups and downs with every single win or loss, a FIDE title is typically yours for life. So, a grandmaster might peak at a massive 2600 rating and maybe later drop to 2450. Doesn't matter. Once a grandmaster, always a grandmaster.
Moving on to Section 2, the first upward steps.
So these are the foundational titles, kind of the base camp that serious competitive players strive to conquer as they establish themselves internationally. The very first major milestone on this climb is the Candidate Master, or CM. Requiring a minimum FIDE rating of 2200, this title means you are an incredibly strong club player. If you're a CM, you possess a dominating tactical and strategic understanding of the game. You're the kind of player who just crushes local tournaments.
Take one step up, and we hit the FIDE Master, or FM. This requires crossing the 2300 rating threshold. Now, an FM is a genuinely fierce tournament competitor, way beyond your average local standout. But what's really notable here is that, just like the Candidate Master, reaching FIDE Master is purely a numbers game. You just need to hit the rating. No special tournament performance certificates, or norms, are required quite yet.
Section 3. Entering the elite ranks.
Okay, now this right here is where the air gets really thin, and sheer rating numbers, they just aren't enough anymore. The difficulty spikes dramatically because suddenly you need a norm. A norm is essentially a certified exceptional performance in a highly competitive tournament. You can't just beat up on weaker players to safely pad your rating. Nope. FIDE demands that you prove your worth against other elite players under grueling, stressful conditions. It's this mandatory quest you have to complete multiple times just to level up.
This really brilliantly illustrates that steep staircase we're climbing. The titles are separated by these neat 100-point increments. Candidate Master at 2200, FIDE Master at 2300, International Master at 2400, and finally Grandmaster at 2500. Honestly, it looks so simple on paper, right? Just 100 points. But at this elite level, every single 100-point jump requires an exponential leap in memorized opening sequences, calculation speed, and raw, unfiltered dedication.
To earn the title of International Master, or IM, a player has to conquer two massive steps simultaneously. They need to reach that 2400 FIDE rating and, here's the kicker, earn 3 highly competitive IM norms. When an IM sits down at the board across from you, you are looking at a professional-level player with a deep theoretical knowledge to comfortably dismantle almost anyone they encounter. And then we reach the absolute pinnacle of lifelong titles, the GM title, the Grand Master. To claim this crown, a player faces truly brutal requirements. You've got to reach a 2500 rating and secure 3 GM norms. The margin for error in a tournament where you're hunting for a GM norm is practically zero. You have to play nearly flawless, grueling, multi-hour games against the absolute best in the world, day after day after day. Because this crucible is just so intense, only a tiny, tiny fraction of players ever reach this height. Earning the GM title puts you in the ranks of the most famous names to ever touch the pieces. We're talking titans like Magnus Carlsen, Garry Kasparov, Vishwanathan Anand, and Hikaru Nakamura. These are the minds that have literally redefined how the game is played for generations.
Section 4. The Women's Title System.
Now, I want to make something super clear here. Women can, and absolutely do, earn all the open titles we just discussed. However, FIDE also maintains a dedicated parallel structure.
This mirrors the open climb, but with adjusted rating thresholds. It starts with the Woman Candidate Master at a 2,000 rating, moves up to the Woman FIDE Master at 2,100, the Woman International Master at 2,200, and scales all the way to the Woman Grandmaster at 2,300, which, just like the open titles, requires its own specific WGM norms.
And a perfect example of someone who completely conquered both summits is the absolute legend Judith Bolgar. She didn't just earn the Woman Grandmaster title, actually she completely crushed the 2,500 barrier and secured the GM norms to earn the full Open Grandmaster title as well. She stands as this brilliant testament to the fact that the highest open titles are absolutely there for anyone with the phenomenal skill to claim them.
All right, Section 5, the ultimate chess crowns.
Okay, we've talked a lot about lifetime achievements, but now we're stepping into the realm of temporary honors. The undisputed peak of the entire sport is the title of world champion. But here is the massive difference. It is not for life. To get this title, you have to win the grueling World Chess Championship match. And to keep it, you have to fiercely defend it against a brand new, brilliant challenger every couple of years.
Because it has to be constantly defended, this fleeting crown has created a legendary, unbroken lineage of brilliance stretching way back through time. From Wilhelm Steinitz to Bobby Fischer, Anatoly Karpov, Garry Kasparov, Viswanathan Anand, and of course, Magnus Carlsen. Holding this title means you are, at that moment, the single greatest player in classical, slow time-controlled chess on planet Earth.
But hey, classical chess isn't the only arena out there. There are also highly respected situational crowns. The World Rapid Champion for faster games, the World Blitz Champion for incredibly fast, instinctual play, and the Junior World Champion for young prodigies. On top of that, many national federations award localized titles, like National Master, to recognize exceptional talent strictly within their own borders.
Section 6. How hard is it? So, we've mapped the whole thing out, but let's be real for a second and ask, just how brutally difficult is this climb? Well, the reality check is pretty sobering. Reaching FIDE Master is objectively difficult. Earning International Master is extremely difficult. And securing that Grandmaster title, the data makes it incredibly clear it is widely considered to be one of the single hardest achievements in any game or sport, period.
I mean, it requires a level of total obsession that most of us we can't sustain it. Countless players dedicate literal decades of their lives to the board. They study endless opening theory, they drill incredibly complex endgames, and they travel all over the world to compete. Yet despite giving their entire lives to the game, many are simply never going to cross that final threshold to become a Grandmaster. There are absolutely no guarantees.
Which brings us to a final thought for this explainer. Knowing what you know now, the monumental rating requirements, the lifelong daily commitment, and that brutal, uncompromising norm system you've got to conquer, do you think you have what it takes? Do you have the decades of unwavering dedication required to conquer the Grandmaster Mountain? Thanks so much for exploring this with me today, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.
Please like, subscribe and share to chess lovers for more such chess content.